Hello and welcome to another Skylords Reborn video. This time my Blight solo run in 19 minutes and 19 seconds. No restrictions, no season replay, just a regular run. I will show you the deck at the end of the video, so if you're just interested in that and want to have a crack at it before you watch the video, then feel free to skip towards the end. And yeah, let's start with the replay. So I start with the Nomad, and we will clear, or I will clear the power wall at the bottom here with the mine as soon as possible, and then just lure everything in. And don't take too much damage. Obviously, it shouldn't be too hard with the mine. A little bit is fine, depending on like how they bounce around and stuff. But yeah, shouldn't be too much. I think I take like 40 damage here. Yeah, 42. And then yeah, we take the well, heal a little bit. It's like 2 ticks, so it should be fine. And move towards the left here. We will build a blaster cannon and take out all 4 birds at once. This next part is a little bit time critical, even more than like the rest obviously, because if you're a little bit too slow, in just like 1 or 2 seconds, then the birds will respawn here in the bandit tent. So yeah, place the blaster cannon here, rotate it to the right, because that's where the patrol will come from, and then position your nomad towards the bottom of these bottom flower thingy here, so the patrol will see you, and then you just move when it kind of wants to attack, so you don't take as little damage as possible, because we have to stall a little bit for the blaster cannons to be, or the one blaster cannon to be done. Once it's done, you can pull out the next set of birds to take advantage of the rage effect of the first blaster cannon. So it dies with everything dies with like 2 hits. And then we build a third nomad as soon as possible, destroy the blaster cannon for the void return, and move towards the bouncer. Pull this one out, and then yeah, depending on like how he moves, you have like a little bit more or less time on like the bandit tent. So in this one he like turned around and he just focuses 1 nomad now. Sometimes he focuses all 3 of less damage, and then you have to hurry a little bit more. Place the mine as soon as possible. The sorcerer's movement here is also a little bit different. So if the bouncer would have had a worse pattern, then you would have to focus the tent without triggering the mine, which would most likely result in a reset, because you just take too much damage from everything. Just make sure that your nomads don't die. A little bit unlucky that the sorcerer survived, but it's fine. And then we spawn a Sunderer at the bottom here, so it doesn't take any damage from like these towers. And move him towards like the back of the tent here. Again, make sure that the no nomads die. You even have, in theory, you have enough time to place like a second mine. The Sunderer timing still works out. Obviously, it's just like 20 seconds or so slower, but not necessary usually. Yeah, just move through. We have to delay the well take here, because you need the suppression and the ability of the Sunderer to clear this camp. Otherwise, you have too little HP. So that's the suppression, there's the ability, and then you can see it's like barely not enough to take the well instantly. So yeah, that's what we do here, and then Sunderer takes care of the garrison, and we take care of the tower and wait for the second power well at tier 2. We don't take tier 2 itself yet, because we don't need it, and that triggers an attack from, I think, some camp here, which will then move towards that orb, and we don't want that yet, because that wave is indeed trappable. So, and that's what we do later on. So the orb timing is quite key here. Yeah, Sunstrider, mostly for the ability and to pull the camp here, a mine. Also the Sunstrider to take care of the way station later on. We wait for the second mine. Should be placed here. And then we pull, tank with the nomads, so the Sunderer doesn't take too much damage. You can get all 3 shamans with like just those 2 mines, but it's pretty rare that that works, so I usually place like a third for just for consistency's sake. Here, move your Sunderers forwards and use the suppression effect on the tower. Sunderers towards the left of this building, kill the way station with them, and then the nomads take care of the sorceress and the tower. Place the one nomad pretty far to the left, otherwise like the suppression obviously once the first one runs out from the Sunderer. But otherwise these guys can do weird things when they try to attack the barracks. I had a couple times that they pulled the soul hunter, so just when this one was too far to the right, and they sometimes position themselves here, the other two. Once the first second suppression here actually hits like about 4 to 5 seconds left, then just use another Sunderer thing, and afterwards you take the T2. When this has like 600 HP or something. And then you get all 3 nomads on the barracks, and once that's down, the T2 will be finished as well, and you can place 2 more clay traps here. And while we wait for that to build up, the Sunderers can take care of the way station in the meantime. As you can see, this is the wave that I'm talking about. This was triggered by taking the T2 orb. So we'll have to deal with that after the Soul Hunter. As you can see, station is down. Sunderers can position and pull the Soul Hunter. I only use 1 explosion blast and then oink. And a little bit of damage from your units is cheaper than actually just using 2 explosion blasts, so I do that. We'll take care of the tower, mine for the wave. Again, we want to leave like one archer of these steel guards alive. 1 sub-squad essentially. Tower's almost down. Need like the ground presence here from the archers to take tier 3. They can die afterwards. And then the nomads can take care of the rest here. I usually try to just attack with 1. So, like, focusing them down. So just that only 1 is alive is a little bit easier then. A little bit more controlled. You can use like trample here to spread them apart a little bit further. Sometimes the damage works a little different or weird. Shrine of War as soon as possible, and then yeah, just trample damage for this, and as you can see, 1 steel guard alive. Second Shrine of War, and this steel guard will attack this well for like most of the rest of the game. It will die eventually, but at that point we are like, I think the first lieutenant in the middle is already down. Sunderer here
is under attack.
To deal with this double wave from the camps on the top side. Usually I place like the first mine at like 8:25ish. Give it like a timer, and then you want to have like a stagger and retreat to have like the snipers focus on the Sunderer so they stand in the mines. And we mostly want to delay for the Shrine of War actually to be ready, because we need the Void Return for the next wave that now spawns from this camp. As you can see, like they're charging and then they cancel. Could have staggered this a little bit better for sure. As you can see, I'm moving back now. Another mine. Also use like thunderstorm and stuff like that. A couple shots are not too bad. We don't get attacked at this position anymore, and or that much more anyways. I'm an ammo unit at tier 3, and 3 more clay traps. 2 is enough in theory, but then it depends on like how the Soul Hunter's position in relative to the Wind Hunters and to each other. So if you hit everything with like the Explosion Blast, then it's fine. Otherwise you need like a third one here. I can use Thunderstorm, I think, to weaken them up a little bit. Not necessary. Also here, the second nature orb. Yeah, as you can see, 2 is enough. Then you need, I wait like until like 440 power, I think, for enlightenment, and then we get our first material. There it is. And then we move on. I try to like lure out the Soul Hunter and the Steel Guards a little bit to not take too much damage from like the snipers here. Didn't really work. So make of that what you will. We're really going for speed, probably also fine to just move in. Obviously Dying Breed for like the Leech. Then move in here. I have Curse of Oink, but there's like a Wind Hunter patrol here that I want to save it for, usually. I think I misplay that actually as well. And get like CC'd, and now we want to move into like this area where there's like a cave spawn of a lot of strikers.
A power well is under attack.
And I want to get that. Didn't move far enough. Inferno to deal with these guys. And you should have used Dying Breed here as well. Get like the first set of guys here. Bad equilibrium as well. Didn't think I would burn that fast. But as you can see, they will now respawn all the time. So I can leech a little bit here with Dying Breed. Now a second material by Enlightenment. Here you can like infinite power farm this here, but try to be at like at the latest like 45 seconds be here to clear this. Important thing is to like suppress the artillery, obviously Dying Breed again, and then you want to use Equilibrium afterwards to tank like the initial damage. Also Unity here, the blue one. So you want to hit tank like the artillery shot and then the gunner shots, and then heal. Otherwise you just get instantly low again, and we need that HP for later on. In theory you can defend your tier 1 here with like Mockley traps. You would have to build at like 1250-ish. Also try to build T4 here. Didn't really work. Artillery took that down, doesn't really matter too much. Get most of the power back anyways. So you can defend all of these 3 waves with like Mockley traps, or if you kill one of your materials you can respawn one here and defend that way. It's not really necessary though. Obviously you focus a lot of your attention and economy on defending this, or you can just essentially clear this next part with tier 3 and be done as well. So you can see like the power well still holding up, getting a little bit low but still fine. This is down. Now we move in here. I think I leeched a little bit badly actually this run, so I have a little bit less power than I'm used to. Usually should have like a third material at this stage. Then as you can see I have like barely any power then to maneuver, so I didn't build it this run. So yeah, trying to clear this now. Quite a lot of damage as you can see. Then just use spells and everything you have available to you. Trying to get like the suppression here, and then Inferno for these guys. You can sneak past the turret if you hug like the bottom wall, taking the power well here to heal. Panicked a little bit here. That's my suppress, probably not necessary actually. And there's my T4 finally. Again, I'm a little low on power actually, so I probably should have a third battalion at this point. But yeah, as you can see, I have like 400 power, and that would mean I don't have any power to spare. Also, off switch here, so I don't have to enlighten every time I need a new battalion.
If you have somebody to get killed, we have a deal.
And then heal a little bit, and then move on. I'm trying at this stage. I try to avoid like pulling the walker too early, because if I have to deal with everything here plus the walker hits, then I will die quite quickly. Should have probably pulled this a little bit earlier instead of just taking the tower down here. That's kind of waste. Should have oinked the bandit wind hunters here as well before using dying breed on this guy. But should be fine. Yeah, power well is now down, but doesn't really matter anymore. Bloodthirst for healing, unity again, and then fire sphere to deal with the bandit walker. Trying to dodge the shots, and then taking care of the lieutenant. A little bit unlucky, I think one of the wind hunters survives here on top, so I have to move there. Don't have any easy way because I have to kill it otherwise. Usually you want to avoid this area at first because you have to clear the cages for the end. Or after the end, but you have like 15, 16, a couple seconds at least after the Ravenheart without any time delay, so you want to do that after you kill the boss. I lost like probably like 10 seconds or something there. And another dying breed. Clear this. Obviously you have to be more careful for the second one because you can't use any spells there or abilities. Another fire sphere for the walker. Unity and bloodthirst. Those are the important ones. If you have those, you're basically unkillable by the lieutenant. But I would have preferred to get like an equilibrium when he walked into the range essentially. But it's fine this way as well. And yeah, now the Ravenheart is all that remains. Again, bad leech again. Should have probably have a fourth battalion here. Also taking care of this. Sadly pulled these guys. It cost quite a bit actually. Should have oinked those earlier and would have been fine. And then, yeah, trying to bloodthirst and take care of the boss. And yeah, that's basically it. Nothing more special going on. You can obviously bloodthirst and then want to keep a unity up, and then you can use fire sphere or whatever damage spells you have power for. Force battalion would have been better here, but yeah, it's whatever. Just take care of the cave at the end. Within like 15 seconds, you can split your battalions if all three of those are alive still. And yeah, that's the map. Don't kill your battalions at the end. That actually costs time because the Ravenheart becomes targetable again and like swerves around here for a little bit. So it costs might be like 10 seconds or something if you don't have ground presence here anymore. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll leave you with the deck now, and yeah, see you in the next one.
A monument is under